Okay, this is very small, but I'll still. This is an incident about. This chapter is called "The Train to Pakistan." I finally learned that life isn't a timed test where the goal is to make a list of shouldas, couldas, wouldas on January 1st and finish as fast as possible with every answer correct and be perfect about it. I have taken sayings, what people have said, and started my chapter. So I won't read the whole chapter and bore you, but I'll describe the portion when my father, who had taken me twice to Peshawar, and we had gone always through Amritsar, walked through to Lahore, where I even did a film called Veer Zara, which brought back a lot of memories. And I cried there because I had done the same with my dad. So I'm just reading you the last part, where the second time we went, every time my father told me a lot of stories about how wonderful his hometown was, Kisa Khani and Lahori di Hatti, and kitne log khush the aur kitne achhe the. My father, by the time I was born, wasn't doing well business-wise. Wives, as they are always, were, tum kuch karte kyun nahi, kind of a thing. So I think he needed to go back to his past to keep on telling me how wonderful it was. And he took me twice to Peshawar. This is the second time in 1980 when he took me. So I'm just reading the last bit, which I read to Shoma. My father got me back to Peshawar once again in 1980. The second time round was also turning out to be as exciting. But without my knowledge, there was something else taking place right under my nose. I was told by my father's friend that all this niceness that my cousins were showing me was to impress my father into leaving his share of property in their names. I still don't believe that was true, but my father seemed to be dejected when we returned back to India. My father was always very proud of his family and their achievements. But in retrospect, I think that his going back to his family was not as great an experience as he'd anticipated. He was a very loving and gentle person, never having screamed at us or reprimanded us. He had left his house when he was 16. He had tried desperately to try and make things work in India. I think at times when he felt he hadn't succeeded with his duties to his family in India, he had taken courage from the fact that his family in Pakistan had brought him up well, and he would be able to fight back. Maybe his journey back home was to refresh this resolve, and he had taken his little son along to give him a taste of his lineage. I think it was like trying to revisit his past and pass it on to his future. It's like when you're a little lost, you try to retrace your steps to figure out where you went wrong. But the past had changed with time. It was not the same for him. The memory of all the anecdotes and good times he had collected with pride over the years seemed tainted by the bickering and fight for something as menial as the possession of his property rights. He had got his son along to introduce him to his proud past, but the past wasn't there. And what was left of it was not something to be proud of either. Instead of finding out where he had gone wrong, he realized that the beginning itself was a mistake. He was too far gone to start all over again. Neither side seemed to be his. He was in the no man's land. I remember him crying while walking along the no man's land between Pakistan and India, and I felt sad for him. Little did I know, by the time we got back, I would have to start feeling sad for myself. My father was beginning to die.